Live from the Suntech Exhibition and Conference Center in the beautiful city of Singapore, where we love a bit of Dota 2. Welcome back to the Singtel PvP Esports Championship, and it is Dota 2 time, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for some Dota 2? So far today, we've had a lot of fun with Arena of Valor. We know one of our finalists. Congratulations again to them. We'll come back to that first thing tomorrow morning and round out our Arena of Valor competition, crowning our champion and winning the lion's share of our $100,000 prize pool. But it is Dota 2 semi-finals now for the rest of today. 2 best of 3s await us to see who will make it through to our grand final, which will be here tomorrow. So let's get into our first semi-final, and to do that, let's welcome one of our invited teams who through the group stages yesterday topped out Group A with a big 2-0 victory. Please welcome Fnatic. First semi-finalists are Fnatic! And as Fnatic get ready for this semi-final, let's welcome their opponents, who are Admiral Dota. Ladies and gentlemen, our other semi-finalists in our first game today, Admiral Dota. Fnatic against Admiral Dota in our first best of 3. Remember, it's single elimination on the Dota 2 side of things. So the winner of this goes into tomorrow's grand final. Fnatic or Admiral Dota? Well, let's find out with our first visit today with our incredible analyst desk, headed up by the magnificent Shiva.
Thank you so much, Matt. That is a very great introduction of me and of my panel, because I do have a fabulous panel next to me. We are going to have a lot of Dota to go through. We have 2 best of 3s, 2 semi-finals, a lot of big names in there, amongst which, of course, your homegrown Ice from Singapore here, the only Singaporean left in the competition. I think he has a lot of fans out there. And we have got OD Pixel, we have got Fog, and we've got Kyle back on the panel as well. Hello, gentlemen.
How you doing? Hello. Hello.
Semi-finals, we're just going to dive right into it, because we've got 2 semi-finals to go through, and the first one is going to be Fnatic versus Admiral. And I feel like yesterday we saw Fnatic be absolutely dominant. Kyle, do you feel like they're just going to steamroll through here?
I'd say they're certainly the favorites. It's hard to really read too much into BO1s.
I think they looked really good in the qualifiers leading up to the major. I think it's more dependent on which Admiral will. I'm saying Admiral again. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm actually adding extra words, but yeah. Which Admiral is going to show up today? Because the one that Boom ID yesterday looked like they could definitely give them a run for their money.
They looked so strong yesterday, Font.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be the closest game of the day, and it was probably the most one-sided game of the day. Yeah. I don't want to say that all the stars need to align like perfectly for them to beat Fnatic, but I think they do need a couple things in their recipe like that needs to actually just go perfectly, at least in specific situations. Like, I don't want to get so specific, but in the Abed lane, you know, in that middle lane, I think they need to already address that issue.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they do approach that mid lane matchup, because that was one of the weaknesses we saw Admiral have in the game against LGD, where their two side lanes, they went fantastically, and then they had this matchup in the mid lane. Obviously, Allison's Bloodseeker going up against Arme's Morphling. He had a really tough time, and what happened in the other game that we saw from Admiral, obviously against Boom ID, just didn't happen in that one, because they didn't have sort of this Bloodseeker that was able to capitalize on the fact that their enemy's getting low, because of the fact that he was so far behind already in that mid matchup. So a lot of eyes on what they do, because obviously in both of the games on the main stage, we've seen them put Bloodseeker mid. Will they try and run sort of a similar strat with the Bloodseeker, two aggressive dual lanes that look to win the side lanes, or have they got something different up their sleeve for Fnatic?
Well, over the last couple of days, we have got to know Admiral kind of a little bit, at least in their play. We also got a chance to get to know Admiral a little bit better in the following video.
My name is Marvin Salvador Rushton. In-game name is Boomy. Yung training namin is the same lang. 3 best of 2 per day. Tsaka nag-experiment kami ng mga drafts para gagamitin namin para sa upcoming tournament. PvP Esports para sa akin, malaking achievement na napanalunan namin sa yung regionals na nakapunta kami dito. Isa din tong stepping stone para sa team namin para maging well-known tsaka maging into the international scene. Siguro yung Fnatic, LGD tsaka Secret. Siguro mas gusto ko makalaban yung Secret tsaka LGD. Kasi mas madami ako matututunan sa kanila pag nakalaban namin sila. Yung paano sila mag-pressure sa lanes, paano yung drafting nila, paano sila maglaro sa team, mga ganun. So nakikita ko sa team namin ngayon, nakikita ko yung chemistry namin. Kasi same language kami, parang hindi mahirap makipag-communicate. Dati kasi mga team ko, iba-iba language, kaya mahirap mag-communicate, lalo na sa biglaang situation na mangyayari. Yung feeling ko yung scene or yung esports dito sa Southeast Asia, malaking future. Kasi every year parang dumadaming tournaments, every year naging competitive siya more. Kaya sa tingin ko, every year mas tumataas, mas gumaganda yung future.
Yeah, they are ready to make a name for themselves on the big stage. They are looking to face LGD or Team Secret, which they can, as long as they beat Fnatic first in a best of 3. That is not a small ask, to be sure. Seems like a really nice guy, Kyle.
Yeah, I was gonna comment actually. I love his attitude. My career, I played with obviously in North America for the whole time, but I went through a lot of different players, and there were more than a few guys with talent that just didn't approach the game professionally, came in with like massive egos even though they really hadn't earned anything yet. And if you really want to be the best, you've got to work. And if you're not winning, you should be learning until hopefully eventually you're the one on the podium. So I like it.
He's a bit of like the veteran for the team, right? Because he was playing on Clutch Gamers before, Boombox was his name, so he's probably feeling like a little bit more comfortable too with that he's like that. I guess maybe the star for them.
And I think as well from Boomy, I think he's one of the most interesting ones to watch in this matchup, because we know he's very good on the Shaker and the IO. Who do we know is good on the Shaker and the IO? It's Mr. DJ, of course, on Fnatic. So when it comes to the draft, I wouldn't be surprised if we are going to see IO just be banned out in the first phase. I think Shaker might be left in. I'm just going to be very intrigued to see who's going to grab it, because I think it's going to be a big thing. We saw yesterday, but from both of them, Shaker is the hero to watch. DJ, of course, he's also got like his Earth Spirits, which he had an incredible game with yesterday. So for me, those two, so these position 4s, those heroes that we're seeing in this meta, those first few picks, sometimes if you can get the Wyvern or one of those strong fives, you'll go for it. But in these sort of matchups where your 4 players as strong as these 2 teams are, you've got to watch out for these heroes.
Yeah, I was thinking Shaker, Nyx Undying.
Yep.
There was one other one. I can't remember what it was, but similar heroes to like just be able to work with him, because I feel like he's so important for the game plan for them to secure that mid lane and even secure one of their side lanes.
That's kind of the story of the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, going back all the way to like TI7, you had GH playing a very specific subset of like niche 4 heroes, and he looks like the best in the world on him this past TI. You have Jarex just making, you know, Lina come back. I feel like the 4 position is really, I don't want to say it's the most important because every position in Dota is necessary if you're going to win, but it's certainly the one that looks the flashiest when your team is winning. So
it's the most fun to play too.
Yeah.
You're a support, but not really.
No.
But not really.
You're the one making the plays, creating the space. And if you're doing a good enough job, major carry never has to lift a finger, if you will. For Team Admiral, of course, they are going up against their fellow countrymen of DJ and Abed. I feel like maybe there's something extra in there. We are going to head into the draft very soon. And I'm just very curious because we've seen Fnatic yesterday and it didn't feel like they really were tested, Kyle.
No, not really. I feel like they, you know, it was the Bat Rider game we saw. I feel like that game's just kind of a wash. I don't really know how to like just even describe it.
Yeah, I mean, Secret came with a bit of a wonky draft.
Yeah, sure.
Sort of it was a very sort of puppy-esque thing to do. Sort of turn up at the LAN, try something that no one else was going to try, didn't work out, didn't happen again. Of course, they tried something different in their next game, Secret.
I mean, they didn't get like so tested, but I was really impressed with like the rotations. Like we were talking about, oh my God, there's these 2 4 players on this team now, and they have to make these adjustments. But I saw them making the rotations, and it looked pretty clean. But it maybe a little over rotations at times. But I guess that's what we're going to start to see in a best of 3, how it develops instead of just a best
I think
of
it's
1.
a key to watch though, because that's something that can really get punished on this patch. If you're going to be incredibly aggressive, move around the map, you have to ensure that if you're not finding kills, you're at least able to take dominance in the lane for a wave or 2. So, will that pay off? Probably, but I don't know. You got to watch the game. You're not going to have a freebie like a Bat Rider, I don't think, ever again in this event.
Let's have a look. Talking about other freebies, of course, we've got to keep that Brood Mother in mind. You know, the other day, Fnatic, they did get that Brood in, and of course, the fantastic ISO's got himself that Rampage. So
10 seconds.
Admiral, I don't think they're going to let that through. It is a best of 3, so you never know. One of the games, maybe it sort of slips past them. There's that Shaker ban that we mentioned, so Admiral taking that approach. IO's still in the pool, though.
Interesting that Admiral bans out the Shaker themselves. Same thing goes for Fnatic and Necrophos, as they have liked to open with it over the last couple of days, and also during their matches in qualifiers for
Dire team back.
Yeah, and
I like the Dazzle ban.
Interesting.
Because we saw how well Admiral played with it yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the game where they absolutely stomped Boom ID, where they were able to run these dual lanes and have sort of this Wraith King Dazzle that was very, very scary.
Feels like a hero that's, I don't know if it's like on the rise or something. I know Secret really likes it. I've been watching a lot of like the high tier pub games, and I'm seeing the rise of this Dazzle like off lane, actually 3 position and stuff. So,
well, it's great talents. I think sustain is something that more teams are looking to utilize, because if you can stay on map right now, it's just a big advantage just throughout the entire game. And in addition, when you pair it up with the Wraith King, you saw Skeleton heal bombs for like 500 plus damage. And it doesn't really, it's not very difficult to just press E.
I'd like to see Admiral just open with the Io Jara.
They're going to get Weavered immediately then, right? Then it's going to be Wyvern Weaver response.
Yep.
Or Wyvern Morph.
I guess, yeah, that Fnatic
It's one of
to
the
put
2.
them off with that Wyvern opener. Yeah, for sure.
That's always the concern.
I don't think you play Wisp. I really don't like Wisp in this sort of situation. We just talked about how adept Fnatic is at rotating around the map, finding kills all over. You really want to play a defensive support that's going to be reliant on like TP response versus actually being able to make plays independently.
It's just so scary because it's like, yeah, they just have those options. It's like, okay, we IO Gyro, they do the Morphling or they do that Weaver.
I much prefer this choice. Yeah. I think this is one of the ideal Wyvern counters. You cannot play Dota in the same lane as an Undying, and the Tombstone is excellent just combating him throughout the game. It's like a 285 move speed hero?
Wyvern? Wyvern might be slower?
I think it might be. It feels slower.
I think it might be 281. I don't know, it's one of those. Pretty slow. Oh, I was going to ask you, since you have the computer, did they play against each other at all in the last 3 weeks?
Yes, they did. It was a 2-0 for Fnatic in the upper bracket of the major qualifiers. That was.
Okay. So I think this might be like a, in case Fnatic takes the IL, right? And it's also Weaver's just an amazing hero. So.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Fnatic just pull out a Lina right here. It's great to kill the Tombstone, and I just feel like after watching TI, Wyvern Lina just seems incredibly powerful. You just Wyvern ult, as long as you hit 2 heroes, you're going to Lina stun on top, and it's just nearly a guaranteed
10
kill.
seconds remaining.
And just great team fight throughout the game.
I would be too opposed to Fnatic just grabbing the
5
PL.
seconds remaining.
Yep,
Yes, that's very
that's a
true.
Super
good point.
strong core at the moment, a way of getting on top of the Tombstone.
Man. Oh, and you're great on the panel. Great insight. Did you study for this?
I mean, it's all thanks to this beautiful Razor Blade laptop, you know. Well, let's see, Fnatic. I mean, also, is there still a potential of the Brood? Brood is still in the pool.
Fanatics turn to battle.
They grab the Bloodseeker.
So direct, just
That-
go for that Weaver. And they have to set up for the Blood right with Curse a lot of times.
So I'm curious your thoughts on this, right? So I don't know how much stock you put into like Dota buff win rates,
Okay.
but Bloodseeker has an incredible win rate against Undying public matches. Why do you think that is? It's like his 2nd or 3rd best matchup, like in all of Dota.
It is a hero with no stun
Fnatic
versus a
turn to
Bloodseeker
battle.
who can speed out of control, right? I don't know what
I mean, I know it's the Weaver counter, so
Yeah, I'm trying to think maybe. I didn't know it had that good of a win rate versus Undying as well.
it's like it's like plus 6 or 7%, which is abnormally high as
I
well.
mean, you can't really get him off of you. Like if you're an Undying and you just get hit, like
Yeah.
Dire
You know
team
what
battle.
else? You probably
you're low
the
armor.
Blood Rage heals based on creep HP too, so even if you have like 3 or 4 decay stacks on you, as long as you get a last hit under tower, and
That's
you're
true.
pretty much full health.
Yeah.
And Undying is also what, a 1 armor hero?
He's very low armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do just chunk him down.
I like the synergy with Wyvern as well.
Dire
We
team
discussed-
picks.
we-
So
yeah,
good.
It's the same. Like you want, when you have a Wyvern, you want to have a follow-up disable that is not too costly.
Yeah.
Where you would ideally want to get the damage component, but you don't mind if you miss it. And a 6-second silence on top of a Wyvern, like you don't need the damage anymore because whoever's caught is going to end up going down.
Yeah, absolutely, because you also, he's just going to Blood Rage whoever's been Winter's
10
Curse. They
seconds
just melt.
remaining.
Yeah.
Increase damage.
Well, that's a
5
good point. I didn't even
seconds
think
Yeah,
about
you
that.
Blood Rage the Curse target. Same thing with like the medallions and all that.
Yeah. That's something I think that
Fnatic
separates like
turn
the...
to pick.
Wow, that was a fast second banning phase. TA and Lina banned out by Admiral. Drow Willow from Fnatic. See how much... It's just funny how much respect Fnatic gives to a Drow. Even though they already have the Wyvern, when we saw yesterday, Boom ID had an opportunity to take it with PL and Brood banned against, I believe, like Necro, Bloodseeker, and they just chose to ignore it completely.
Why do you think the
10
Kunkka
seconds remaining.
gives them catch, of course, but and like team fight, but
5
I
seconds.
feel like every time I
nothing-
see a Kunkka, the rum is so good. Like, you're picking
yeah,
up the
of
rum,
course.
someone gets Winter's Curse, someone gets Ruptured, you get the rum over them, it gives them
guys.
extra chance to survive.
It's Team Admiral.
And that is true as well, it's in the name.
all right, all right. Well, usually you see the Kunkka in response, right? In response to something.
Dire
Yeah.
team pick.
I like that.
like
DJ Spirit back in the game again.
More combos, easy,
Yep.
low cooldown things you don't have to like. Yeah,
Yep.
easy
It's
Very
setup.
annoying for the
I-
Weaver early on.
We've seen Wyvern Earth Spirit. I want to say going back all the way to like TI 5, 6 era EG. I remember this being like one of their favorite combos. It's just so easy to set up kill combos. Plus, throughout the early laning phase, like
10
the
seconds
way
remaining.
these two heroes rotate is very complementary. So you can gank independently
5
or
seconds
combine together.
remaining.
You're both great TP response.
And your Spirit Bloodseeker.
Yeah, exactly.
That was newbie.
Yeah.
Newbie special, right?
Literally their first two
Fnatic
Yeah.
in all
turn
3
to
games in the TI 7 upper bracket
Upper bracket finals.
Yep.
They
First-
love it.
That's a...
So they have a Pugna's great versus Winter Wyvern though. You can decrepify the curse target.
Dire
That can help
team
them.
battle.
Goodness.
I
just-
just Kunkka. They were ready for it.
Yeah,
I-
they
They
were-
do have the Kunkka, that is true. They
have the
do
Kunkka.
have the Kunkka, they've got
But-
something.
It's gonna have to be a core Kunkka now, and it's a weird tri-core combo from Admiral. The Pugna is rough for me all as well, because now, you know, Bloodseeker's gonna be going early BKB, and you're
Yes.
really threatened, like, you don't want to play against any reach, and you hate playing against minion
10
spam or
seconds
illusions, or spiders, in this case,
Okay.
Brood. I feel like,
5
you know,
seconds
if they get on top
remaining.
of Pugna with any sort of stun from DJ's probably best Earth Spirit in the world, he's just dead. Like, there's no real save on Admiral, and if you take out the Pugna, like, where's the damage gonna come from? Like, over time, if you're fighting in the bugs and the Tombstone, I do like that synergy because it's very difficult to get enough attacks off to actually deal with all these hit-based issues, but if Pugna's down, what's left?
they at least have Rum, and then they at least have the Soul Rip.
Yeah.
So that's some type of protection in a way. And their lane's like a Weaver safe lane, like Hunka mid, and a Pugna off lane with some strong dual lanes. I could see it.
I just...
I think
How do you deal with the BKBs?
That is the problem, yes, for sure.
Is there not one pick that could solve all the problems that you just mentioned?
Is there a pick?
Yeah.
I've seen what Fnatic last picks, because that's going to close a few more doors and windows on their draft opportunities. They banned the Storm, again, like recognizing our draft is very susceptible to reach.
How about...
They're also low on disables and control themselves.
How about Phoenix?
5 seconds
For who?
remaining.
For Admiral.
What?
I think that is a no.
How are they? Look, they already have issues keeping them around the tombstone. Now you want to drop a supernova on it? Fnatic's just going to peace out.
They're just gonna peace out, sure. But who hits the egg?
But how are they going to kill people?
You just walk away.
You just walk
don't,
away?
You don't need to hit the egg.
Fanatics turn
It's a
to
long
pick.
range,
Okay,
though.
yeah,
Dire
yes.
team pick.
Retreating is a viable option.
Shooting is always an option. But then what's... I'm trying to think what the solution would be. What do you want them to grab? It's a support.
I mean, theoretically, you could... no.
I couldn't...
Could they pick
could
a
they...
core and put support, Undying support?
What about
No.
could they not just finish with a Nexus asset?
10 seconds
I
remaining.
just don't think they have the...
Doesn't really...
The damage, like they don't,
5
they need more
seconds
wave
remaining.
clear right now because they're all in. This Pugna has to do so much to win this game.
Morphin.
Okay, we saw that against the
Choose
Brood the
your
other day. Now it's probably, we were wondering, is this actually a legitimate matchup counter? Like, can Morph lane against Brood? We saw Ame go double Stout Shield.
He did.
We're gonna
Well,
see it again.
it was Arme.
But they have Kunkka Undying as their two supports though, right?
I like this better than them going for some 5. There was no support that was going to fix the holes in their draft.
Okay, that's
this
fair.
gives
I
them
like
a
that.
way to lane against Brood. It's an excellent Bloodseeker counter. It's great against, you have the burst damage to actually take out Invoker. Like, it gives them a win condition,
He can turn into Earth Spirit too, and then it gives them some more control and
Yeah.
stuff too. Okay.
I like it a lot more than the other options.
I mean,
I
I
can
think
agree
it was
with that.
nice that we sort of talked about all the draft, but at the end of the day, this game's over. They let Ice had the Broodmother. There's absolutely no way that Admiral Dota win. This game's over.
They've got Abed Invoker too.
I mean, that doesn't matter. They have the Broodmother. Admiral let Fnatic play Broodmother. They have lost the game.
Kyle, play devil's advocate for a little bit.
I'm out of time.
Okay, well, that is very promising. At least it is a best of 3. We're going to find out which one of the teams has, will get the up here in the first game of the series. It was over to Grant and Capitalist.
And thank you very much, Sheever. We are here, and it sounds like the panel has already given up on Admiral, but I have not.
For
You got
shame.
more. Yeah, I mean, Broodmother, Ice, okay, maybe one of the best in the world, but Cap, tell me, how does Admiral win this game?
Admiral's going to win this game through Admiral Kunkka, man. They've got some nice team fight. They've got some nice lockdown. They've got this Morphling last pick that is going to be able to counter several heroes. Not feeling super optimistic for Admiral's chances here in this game, but I do think that the panel was very right about something, that they needed something to really change up the draft for them because it was heading in a bad direction, and that last pick Morphling, maybe it is the answer.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is, though, like, Ame has probably played that matchup, right? I highly doubt Admiral's played this Morphling versus Brood matchup, right? It seems like super rare. And we're going to see. We'll see if he goes the double Stout Shield we saw from before. We'll see. It'll be very interesting. Obviously, Morphling does a great job. Level 1, 2, and 3 should destroy the Broodmother. But once you get those Spiralings going, it's going to be tough. And it is going to be that mean Invoker is going to be heading somewhere. Where are they going to send the Invoker? Or do you think this is a fake out from Ice?
Could be a fake out.
Looks like it might be.
But the thing is that Admiral apparently have 2 answers to the Broodmother, right? Because they also have the Kunkka, and that's fair enough. So,
but he has a support, so not the biggest deal there. And we do have this Undying. We have not seen much Undying. One of those lane dominators, right? You send him to a lane, you know he's going to do amazingly. He's going to have a tombstone, but I mean, eventually you're going to get to the late game, and who knows what's going to happen there. Well, ooh, double decay does fly out.
I think that's one of the things you always want to do, and Uncertain Heroes Undying is one of the best ones to do it. Just get really aggressive before the bounty runes even spawn. Start getting those decay stacks early so the enemy doesn't feel comfortable trying to contest for the bounty runes.
Yep. Looks like Admiral, they're going for all 4 runes right here, it seems. We're going to look, see what they can do. Ice hiding up there. Will they get them all? Looks like they will give up 1 on the bottom, but... And our Spirit picked up, actually stole the other one as well, so ends up being a 2 for 2 after all that. And it does look like it will be Abed. I was about to say, I just realized Abed Invoker, I think I've seen him play it safe lane once, but there is no way this game he isn't going there. And it's going to be Morphling versus Invoker.
Going for the Exort builds, the Quaswex builds, I guess would be a little difficult for him to get good CS early on against this Morphling, but he's also got a lot of setup for Sunstrike.
Yep. There we go. See if Shake can come in. Yeah, and he went a little different build. Didn't go the null. He went double mantle. First, you just haven't seen that very often lately. Ice, 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 top lane. Get a try. Obviously, Brood is just so bad at level 1. That's the really big, that's like honestly the only real big weakness of that hero. Level 1, 2, 3, you just feel like you absolutely do nothing, but get online, farm jungle, you catch up way quicker than most heroes.
And it seems like these two supports are just kind of doing battle with each other. So they're not actually putting too much pressure on the Broodmother just yet. But they do need to try and chase him out of his lane as soon as possible. You're totally right about that.
Look at this, the Weaver
He's
is
just going in.
Yeah, he is. He doesn't. Karen, did you see the Weaver actually has double Stout Shield queued up against this young man? That's interesting. I wonder if it was just like a middle thing, you know, Ame was doing it, or is this actually viable on any hero kind of thing?
Yeah, and how much is Weaver really going to make use of that?
Yeah, because right,
like,
he's more evading.
You're just going to
attack.
Shikuchi away from the spiders. Oftentimes, like the really awkward like level 3, level 4 area, I could see him taking a lot of harassment damage. But as he gets the 3rd level and 4th level in Shikuchi, I'm not sure if that's actually going to really be that value for him. But we'll see. What's the bottom lane matchup? Is going to be the it's going to be where the Bloodseeker seems to be free farming right now.
Yeah, his Bloodseeker's just regular. And that hero, right, it's so hard to counter him unless you get someone. It does feel like, you know, just Decay running at him can help, but he's doing a very good job of just keeping the creeps in his favor. Pugna pushing in the lane here.
Yeah, Pugna should be able to do pretty well. It seems like they've gotten off to a little bit of rocky start. MP has just secured a lot of CS, but Pugna is probably one of the better harassers in the game. You have the Decrepify to be able to stop him from getting some CS. And as you said, very strong laning support in the Undying.
And well, we do watch Allison versus Abed, actually pretty even middle, 8-2, 9-5. Bottom, they do get the pull up, and I think that's where the big problem is. It feels like, I think they got 2 pulls off in a row on Radiant. That's why the lane's so far back. And that's huge. I think you've got to block that. I mean, if you win bottom lane, if they can't pull, like you just outright win it. It feels like they didn't block it. Or it looks like he sentried and countered it. And there's a tower. We watch MP, he's just farming, won't get CS. Illusion runes pop.
That's a nice play with the Blood Rage, and then he gets the extra harassment damage onto Bocarino.
There. He's going to be the double decay. We'll just kill the illusion, a nice 2 gold there.
They've got nice sustain as well from the Soul Rip from the Undying, so they can get a lot of their HP back to make sure the Bloodseeker doesn't get too far out of control. But again, now with the creep wave like pushing in like this, and they're also a little bit under leveled, they're not feeling super comfortable trying to push that Bloodseeker out.
They do have double range creep coming, but once again, Jabs gets the pull off, so after this goes down, they're just going to lose a ton more experience than you see. This Undying's like, I need to do something about this, but what can I do? I have no mana, I have no life.
Yeah, he should be pretty much spending his time contesting the Wyvern, I think.
Oh, man.
And just let the Pugna do the solo.
Yeah, look at that Invoker already, the double null going for the phase boots, and there it is. He's going to go down. Undying will get first blood. And that's the problem, is a Bloodseeker. That Undying was just running around with like half HP the entire time.
Yeah.
It's so hard to do that versus a Bloodseeker. And look at this. Middle lane as well, the Morphling sitting at super low HP. This Bloodseeker might just have a crazy game if they keep this up.
Top lane, at least they do manage to bring down Ice Ice's Broodmother before he gets a little bit too big. They've got the lockdown thanks to the Kunkka to be able to make sure that he can't just play in the trees the entire time.
So what, I mean, where do you see Admiral? Like, you have a Morphling, right? That's like one of the best late game heroes, but versus an Invoker, you still want to take it late game if you're Admiral? Is that like your best chance of winning?
Yeah, it's definitely your best chance of winning, but they're going to reach this really awkward point around 20 minutes where both Weaver and Morphling don't accomplish much for you.
We'll get Cold Snap and Silence, but doesn't mind too much, even gets the last hit there.
I think they know they probably weren't going to be able to get that kill, but it's just good harassment damage that, again, enables the Bloodseeker and then also frees up space. I really like, more I think about it, Abed's build of this double null talisman against the Morphling and the full agility. Better harassment damage, better CSing opportunities.
This is pretty easy there. So, yeah, he's just going to be farming with adaptive strikes. He can't really move too far forward until he brings out regen, which he's going to try to do. The bounty runes do spawn. There's going to be a big fight bottom. Looks like they want to go for the Sundying. They get the silence off on him. Sunstrike is going to miss, but DJ just hits him with the stick, brings him down. Well, Secret already up by 1K. I know we were talking about this earlier, like Admiral yesterday, they honestly looked like a team who definitely had a chance versus Fnatic. I don't know if that was just they were playing out of their minds, or there's just one of their big games, but I mean, how much do you think Fnatic's a tier 1 team right now?
From their performance, like, some of it was draft, but that best of 1 against Secret, the way they played it just looked really good. Sure, I think they had a big draft advantage, but it was still very impressive. So yeah, I could see them kind of being definitely a tier 1 team right now. More to tell as best of 3s. It's just a little bit one-dimensional, telling just from qualifiers and then just from best of 1 so far.
Look at this. Ooh, roll in. He already is morphing the strength, though, but when your morphling's in the jungle trying to farm centaurs, you know he's having a rough time middle. That is actually... A morphling does not want to be farming the jungle. He's not a Terrorblade.
No, absolutely not.
That just goes to show, I think, Kyle was talking about Abed. I mean, he's definitely, like, I would say a top 3 mid player in the world. If you just keep watching him play, it's such a tough matchup, and then you give him a favorable matchup as well. It's going to be rough. MP almost level 6. Top lane seems to be the best lane for Dire. The only lane really going in their favor. Ice, Ice, Ice. Only level 5, almost has died. He's died once, almost died a couple other times. But
part of the problem is going to be is that they don't really have a hero that just quickly clears through spiders and could just chill out in the lane the entire time, because this Kunkka is going to be a support. So because of that, they are going to be able to create a lot of space from Fnatic. They're going to use this Bloodseeker, and they are going to be able to get Ice, Ice, Ice back into this game, and he'll start taking over the Dire jungle.
Oh, well, MP's looking trouble is ruptured. Just getting right-click decay will fly, and look, he's still alive. There we go. Gets the kill. I mean, not the biggest kill, but it clears it out. Now middle, DJ actually getting right-clicked by Allison. Abed won the kill. Won't get it. Is there a possibility we see the old LAN M support Kunkka build, where he still goes the armlet, or is that just like phased out completely?
Yeah, it's entirely possible. It would definitely be very useful for him to transition into a core, but I'm just not sure how much space and time he's going to be able to have to do that, because the Morphling and the Weaver are not going to be that helpful around 20 minutes. Like, it's going to be him. His lockdown is required for the Pugna and Undying to be successful in team fights, right? He needs to be able to keep the heroes in place for the Tombstone and for the Life Drain to do its work.
Yep. So here we see Cold Snap is going to flout it. After Strike gets the last hit on a creep, but Kunkka's here. He doesn't want to show himself. He probably still wants to try to get a kill on Abed, but going to be tough bottom lane. They're to just run at him, and oh my goodness, the damage from MP right now. Does get a nice decrypt off, is going to save himself, and in comes the Kunkka. Doesn't quite get any spells off, and MP will just run away. Now, Morphling goes away. DJ, get a look for him. Has a double damage, can definitely get on top of him. He might have to pop the shrine. Probably wanted to wait for his team to come and use it, but DJ happy with what he did, I'm sure.
I can't believe, I mean, DJ is just so manly. Just with that double damage rune, willing to fight a Morphling underneath a shrine like that.
And now, man, I was saying they were winning top lane. Now Ice, 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 a level above the Weaver, and that's because the Kunkka's like, I gotta go help middle. We have a Morphling. This guy needs to get farming because of that. Other lanes are gonna farm. Look at, he's gonna walk the middle. He still has a double damage silence, plus the stun comes out. He is gonna roll. Nice dodge there by Boomy. Will he get away? Yep. Cold Snap won't proc again. And he's actually turning it. But a nice game sense there from Abed, just backs out. No sun's gonna come, but man, MP again kills this Pugna. I have a bad feeling. You have a Broodmother in one lane who can just destroy the jungle. You have a Bloodseeker in the other lane who just destroys the lane. It feels like, where's Admiral gonna farm in the next like 5-10 minutes?
It's the first 3 levels against a Bloodseeker are so important. You need to be able to basically set the tempo. Get a lot of harassment damage, don't let him get the CS to recover his HP, and then just keep on shoving him back from there. But it seemed like MP had totally free space. He got every little bit of CS, like he was doing really well in the CS charts in the first 2 minutes, so.
Oh, the Sunstrike kill in the fountain there, and Abed, I mean, he's shown, he has not lost a step. He already has the urn. And he's going 3-2-3, so he's not going full Exort.
Yeah, so the Exort build just to be able to do well in the laning phase. We were kind of talking about that yesterday, right?
Interesting. I mean, they just want that heavy team fight, right? Both teams have pretty damn good team fight.
Oh man, it's going to be a sick Blade Mail game for Bloodseeker.
Oh, here we go. They're going to look for MP. The blast coming out, a ton of damage being done. One right click. Will the zombie be enough? The zombie's trying to smack him down. The zombies, yes, they will finally bring him down, but now they're turning jabs there as well. Sunstrike is going to hit. Oh my goodness, he barely survived. X mark spot there. Nope, Invoker is here, gets the right click, and now jabs goes down. Abed actually in a little bit of trouble. I think the Decay actually missed there. Meteor is going to fly down, and now the life drain comes out. But Abed so far, I'm just going to turn it around. Silence hits on one. See you later. Undying gets right click down. And that's just because Abed's so farmed right there. It feels like if he wasn't as farmed as he was, that'd be a pretty easy fight for Dire.
For sure. And then the fast reactions of DJ being able to stop the Pugna from being able to get another blast off. Just good reactions all around. I mean, this is one of the things is that Fnatic is just so individually skilled. You look at every single one of their players, they've got excellent supports. Every single one of their cores is big playmakers that you can expect all three of them to take over the game. The obvious ones, the standouts, are both Abed and Ice, but MP definitely showed on his time in Secret that he can carry games, and I think heroes like Bloodseeker, where he has a really strong laning phase, is exactly the kind of style that MP should be put on. I think Fnatic, as they move forward, look to Abed to be the one who's the hard carry, and let MP be more of a space maker for him.
You think he just... When does he leave this lane, or is he fine just staying bottom?
I mean, I think everything is going well for them when it comes to the laning phase, so there's no reason to change it. Right? Like, Ice is winning top lane now, thanks to DJ. Like,
doesn't look like he will get him there. Nice play there by the Pugna, just getting out. And yeah, like you said, they have plenty of setup. Oh my goodness, and he's just gonna get run down. MP is just so farmed right now and leveled. It just feels like they are winning all three lanes right now. This is
if it ain't broke, you know, like you don't need to change anything. Admiral is the one who are incentivized to try and group heroes up into lanes, see if they can offset. Oh, what a good combo.
Misses the Sunstrike, unfortunately, but it still looks like they will get the kill. MP waiting, gets X back. He is still alive, gets torrented into the air. Now MP's in a lot of trouble. Oh my goodness. A little mistake there by Abed. The Sunstrike hits at the end of that Winner's Curse. Oh, and they find him in the tree. And a little over-aggression. We've seen a lot of that this tournament. Like, they're doing good, and then just one overly aggressive move.
Yeah.
But still top. Ice with the catapult. Even behind him is that Earth Spirit. If anyone shows up to defend this, they're going to die.
Yeah, it's just such a big problem because, like, even if they did have the matchup of the Morphling versus the Broodmother or whatever, even now, like, what is the Morphling? Can the Morphling rotate top and stop this tower from dying? No. Right? He doesn't really have the AoE cleared to be able to deal with that. All Ice would need to do is just go into the jungle and then throw spiders at the tower occasionally and just like chip away at it. They don't really have anything to stop this. The Weaver is certainly not going to accomplish this, and I think that's the biggest thing is that they need to move this Weaver around and maybe just, I don't know, plant the Kunkka here potentially. Like, they don't really, they had to completely keep this Broodmother out of the game from the get-go if they had a hope of being able to stop him around 15 minutes.
Well, they did a good job of killing him once early, but you got to keep that pressure up, right? They started rotating the other support to other lanes. Once you do that, Ice will go over,
nice
but
kill. MP is just...
I don't want to say
he is not the flawless player.
Odd. Yeah. He's just playing... He's playing like he knows his team is ahead. He's like, I can take this risk, but why? The risk doesn't really give you anything.
Yeah.
No, here we go. The boat is going to come in. Torrent. Oh, he misses the X combo, and that probably would have been a kill. Now they're going to roll in. This guy, he's just going to die. Gets brought down by DJ, and the Winner's Curse is just going to hold him in place. Abed coming over, level 12, Alacrity. He doesn't even have to use any other spells. Just right-click him down. And there's going to be Soul Rip will help him survive a little bit longer, but Abed picks up another kill. Top lane pushing in that tier 3. They're going to try to get Ice. Can they? He's just going to run away out of the web. He gets X. This should be a kill, and a pretty big one at that. Bensoy gets it. Only 297 gold, though.
Yeah, they've taken a lot of damage onto their tier 3, and that's always going to be a threat. It's a problem when you lose to a Broodmother and you lose your tier 2 so early. It's like playing against a Furion as well when you lose your tier 2s, because now the next step is like every single bit of damage that happens to that tier 3 is important.
Yeah.
You can't afford to lose your tier 3s early. Unlocking the shrines, opening up the Raxes, like you know you're just gonna get ratted and lose the game as a result. So no, Admiral will have pretty much no room for any sort of errors in that regard. They can't lose a team fight. They'll get Rax very quickly.
Oh no, and the Pugna's, I don't think you're gonna be able to TP out, and yep, just gonna run, die to the Rupture. get it over with quicker, respawn sooner. I think that's the thing. It feels like Dire, they want to take control of this top jungle again, but I mean, the only ward up there is a Radiant one. It's going to be tough if they invade that jungle again. They win a fight. They might just take a Rax at, what, 15 minutes into the game.
Oh, he may actually have a kill here.
Oh, they go for it. It has the Speared Vessel. One more right click. Will be enough to get it. Weaver goes down.
And this is the beautiful thing about the Quaswex Invoker is that it just gets so involved, and your cores, both the Weaver and the Morphling, are staying in their lanes and going like, guys, I still need more farm, and that just leaves our Kunkka, Undying, and the Pugna trio. Like, that's not going to be enough to beat this like 4 versus 3 that happens when the Invoker comes in, especially with how farmed Abed is, and especially with the fact that Fnatic are just better players, it seems.
Yeah, and this Morphling is so underfarmed. The double Wraith Band and Treads. Ooh, over here, Boomy is going to try to find one. Winner's Curse is going to go down. Silence will hit on the Pugna, won't do the damage. Boat will end up hitting Jabs. Is going to try to fly away, but it ends up running out. Now the Blast will bring him down. And you can tell Jabs still playing like a 4-position player there. He's just playing super greedy, going all out. I mean, that's how Fnatic's been playing the
he gets in the
time.
Blood Rage as well, yeah.
This is going to be an Alacrity Catapult. He might get the deny, though. Nope, won't get it.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
DJ, Blood Raged up. He's thinking.
And Fnatic is playing like kind of greedy in a certain regard. The fact that they are still trying to play for the safe lane tower, like there's no real need to, but they're so far ahead that they can do it.
Especially versus the Pugna. Ooh, the roll is going to end up missing. Tries to go past. Abed's TPing in if they can get a stun on anyone, but they haven't yet. Oh, but the Rupture. He's going to try to TP. Nope. Tornado will hit, and this is going to be a kill on the Pugna. Will they be able to find more? Not the worst for Admiral, but this top, again, like you said, they're chipping this tower. Bensoy can try to go on Ice. Here comes the Morphling. They're going to be able to get him again. Oh, but the Broodlings will bring the Kunkka down. And now, oh, the Sunstrike actually ends up missing. I don't think it'll be enough to save him, though. Deafening Blast doing some damage. The Boulder Kick plus the Silence will end up getting the kill. You can just tell, right? Fnatic is just, they came to just, it kind of felt they, were playing around a little bit yesterday, but this time they are fully engaged in this game.
Yeah, certainly. It's pretty much just the bottom lane and MP who are really only making the errors. Like, I would say Ice's deaths are, like, it's a trade-off. He's just getting more damage on the tier 3. He's forcing heroes back. Like, his deaths are acceptable in that regard. So, most of Fnatic is doing very well here. And Admiral, well, they just gotta weather the storm, I guess. The Weather is gonna try and get involved.
Ooh, we are going to see a roll. He is going to get the kick, gets the Silence. He is going to be decrypted. Silence Flap again, it does. Oh, and the Tornado should be enough to kill him. No, he's still running away, will go down though. DJ is going to get bugs on him. They should be able to bring him down. Everyone else going to try to run. Will get healed up by the Cold Embrace, but MP just right-clicking that Weaver. It's a little 14 versus 12, but he doesn't care. Maelstrom Weaver doing a ton of damage, and it looks like Radiant's just going to try to get out. That's the thing, they do have a Brood, so when Admiral does commit 5 heroes, they should do a decent job of like taking that fight.
And they've got great team fighters in both the Undying and the Kunkka. It's just a question of whether or not, like, how often can they actually get a 5 versus 4 against Fnatic that's favorable. It just seems so often that it's Fnatic who's determining the tempo. They're the ones with this Invoker running around making kills happen, and Admiral has been pretty staunch in just keeping their laning phase the way it was, even though they're losing it. And well, now as their heroes get involved, hopefully they're able to flip this script a little bit as a 6K advantage for Fnatic. We're seeing the big advantage of this is a combination that we saw at TI7 from both Newbie as well as IG. It was kind of like a Chinese classic, the Earth Spirit and the Bloodseeker. Yeah. The combination, right, the long-range disables with a Rupture, just not allowing these heroes to TP out. We're seeing the Invoker with Tornado, Winter's Curse. There's so many options for Fnatic in long-range catch.
I'm gonna say something, Kevin. I don't think I have not seen anyone take that Weaver Tail in the wild, the plus 75 Sakuchi damage over Mana Break. Oh, yeah. Yules from Abed will dodge that. He is just going to Ghost Block, but they do have the Dust. Nice job bringing that. Will it be enough to bring him down? They're trying. X mark spot, brings back Deafening Blast. Goes for the triple, hits 0 instead.
That is a massive pickoff. 500 gold for the Morphling as well. He's the one who picked up the kills, so that is fantastic for Admiral.
Yeah, and you look at this. Weaver is the top net worth. We haven't really talked much about him, but he did decently. And now look at this. He gets a kill on Jabs in the bottom lane, and he's just going to be able to like push this into the tier 2 and keep farming. This Weaver is actually pretty damn farmed, but they are going to find the Pugna. He's definitely the one sacrificed for this Weaver.
Yeah. I wonder if that Shukuchi build just has to do something with the fact that he needs damage on the spiders. I really obviously
actually,
like
right,
the Maelstrom.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they'd actually like if he kills Spiderites because of the extra damage with Shukuchi.
That is definitely why he got it, though, I assume, now that you say that.
But yeah, the Maelstrom build is obviously really good and a great farming mechanism for this Weaver.
It does look like he is going to go Manta. Is that just for the Spirit Vessel, or...?
Get rid of the Spirit Vessel as well as the Silence from the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, and from the Bloodseeker as well. I remember who's the Weaver, man, Mason, the TI4.
Yeah.
He says you should never get Manta. He almost always says, even versus 5 silences, Manta on that hero, the stats aren't good. Like, what does it actually provide? But we'll see, because he's having a great game right now.
Yeah, I am kind of inclined to agree with Mason, but you know, everyone's got their own style in that regard.
That's what makes Dota great. It's the human perception of it.
BKB, very fast for Ice.
Looks like 20.
Diffusal Blade, BKB, around 20 minutes.
Well, you're just going to be farming up. It does feel like Fnatic, they stopped the aggression, though. They're going back to just farming, and I'm sure Admiral's actually kind of okay with that, because they're pressuring the map. You see this Weaver is just bottom level 18. Even middle, they're playing out of their base. There's 4 of them. But top lane is getting pushed in by the Invoker right now.
I think they know between the Broodmother and the Invoker, them just being able to shove lanes in. Like eventually, Admiral, if they keep grouping up like this, they're either going to get more damage on their tier 3s or they're just going to lose out on the economy battle. So I think Fnatic is trying to incentivize Admiral to split up again, so this Quaswick Invoker that is so much solo kill power, it can once again get the pickoffs that he was doing earlier. Slow down the game a little bit, make Admiral go, wait, this grouping up thing isn't really working for us, we can split up a little bit more, we can get some more farm, we can be a little bit more greedier, and that's when they snap back into pickoff mode.
Yeah. There's the BKB picked up by Brute, so MP has one as well as the Bloodseeker. It feels like when you get these early BKBs, your charges are going to go down pretty quick, but I'm pretty sure they want to end this game in probably the next 10-15 minutes here. They're going to run in, Boomy in a lot of trouble. Here comes the Rum, needs to get on. Will finally Ice chase around. Bensoy actually dies to Abed. They're going to continue right-clicking. Boomy trying to run away. Ice doesn't have a web, or he's not going to use it there. He will, finally will. No, the defusal there will end up getting, does get soul ripped, but won't matter. Spawn Spiderlings hits him up, and this feels like, can you just tier 2 into Roche maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think they could pretty easily do both objectives within 40 seconds. Yeah, they have so much physical damage to lay down. I'm just super surprised they managed to get the kill on the Weaver. Obviously, he doesn't have that defensive item yet. He's choosing to go Manta for his defensive item. So he's a little bit susceptible to that, but he was doing so well not to die before, and unfortunately,
that one death, right?
Getting picked off opens so much for Fnatic.
Yeah, he's top net worth, but he's actually going to fall behind 2 heroes here. And the Sunstrike. Oh, my goodness, they get it. The Silence not allowing him to morph, and at the last second, just gets the kill. Now we're going to move up. Alacrity actually on him. Oh, but the Ancient holds him in place and actually saves his life right there. Now they're going to find this Pugna, though. He is out in no man's land. They don't have any detection, I don't believe, though. MP get a run, though. He's going to be able to, and there's going to be a Rupture up. Now, in comes the Weaver, the 1-man who can do damage. He's just trying to right-click with the BKB. The Maelstrom doesn't actually do that much damage. Can he get frozen there? Help to get healed up, and there's the Cold Embrace. Gonna help attack each other. Sunstrike is gonna fly. Hits onto this Weaver. Jab's trying to. MP just slaughtering the back lines. Can continue to chase Weaver. Should get out, and oh no. The Undying, well, we're gonna have another death here. Picked up by MP.
There's so many small disables that a Quaswick's Invoker can throw around. There's the Earth Spirit as well, both a stun and a silence. It's very difficult to play this Pugna and get good life drains. Yeah. You can see him, he's like pretty much, he can only blast heroes. The moment he tries to life drain, like a second later, Tornado or a Boulder is going to come his way.
Feels, man, having that DJ Earth Spirit versus a Weaver, Morphling, and Pugna, like the silences on those 3 heroes is actually insane. It's probably his best hero, right?
Yeah, he is a sick Earth Spirit.
Ice just farming up the Ancients that stopped him from getting a kill earlier. And now where do you just, I mean, you find a pickoff, you just almost push the base now if you're Radiant, right?
Yeah, if you're Fnatic, I think you continue to do what you were doing before, in that you kind of split up and you shove lanes in and let the Broodmother just start taking over some of these jungle areas.
Ooh. And that would have been the best pickup they could find. DJ won't quite get it. But they're just playing around this triangle, and this is where Dire wants to be. They want to be farming up this triangle. They want to be getting all that gold, but now they're just kicked out of it into the top lane. Abed hits the double tornado. EMP will fall, but won't hit anyone. He'll just kill the bug off. And they're going to actually run back in, but DJ's here now. He's going to roll forward. Yule's into the air. Will dodge it now. Uh-oh, Earthspirit's in a little bit of trouble. They actually get the bounty rune. Will he go down? No, DJ. It's Glimmer Cape. He's fine. And oh, get a save, Abed. Winner's Curse, and now he's just beating up himself. And he will get away.
That is part of the problem, right, is that if Admiral really want to be able to push Fnatic out, they basically have to, like, make a smoke play or something, bring the Kunkka along because he is your only real catch, and you need to grab either the Broodmother or the Invoker because those are the two heroes that I think are just causing you so many issues around the map. One is controlling the map really well, and the other one is threatening these individual heroes. The Invoker is getting these pickoffs and such, so they need to try and bring him along to be able to get the right objective kill that opens up the map for them, that allows the Morphling to be able to farm a little bit better.
Why do you think they put the Aegis on the Bloodseeker?
I think that Abed might just feel a little bit unkillable right now, and I don't think it's particularly valuable on the Broodmother.
Why not? I mean, if he goes to the back lines, ends up shredding people and dies, well, just comes back and...
MP wants to be the one drawing attention when it comes to team fights, like playing that front line.
They're just going to BKB it off, though. Isis doesn't care. He's going to take so much damage. MP already popped the blade mail. A little chaotic there, but nothing ends up happening. +2 swarm attacks to kill. I'll be honest, I mean, they talked about it, right? You have the Tombstone plus the bugs. That's a lot of stuff. You're not focusing here, you got to take those off, but I haven't really seen that combination yet at all. And oh, Winner's Curse is just going to fall down here. Sunstrike is going to end up hitting. There's the stun, there's the ulti, and there's the silence, and DJ will pick it up, but Jabs won't make it. Almost Glimmer Caped away. Maybe 0.2 more seconds, but a nice kill there by the Weaver, and Weaver's going to push on forward.
You know what's cool about this is you see like the 3 cores of Fnatic. They're playing mid and they're playing that bottom lane, right? So it pretty much negates that part of the map. And so naturally, Admiral have to put like a core up to the top lane. They have to shove out top lane as much as possible, try and get some towers or something. But the 2 supports, they have so much catch between the 2 of them. You could just straight up Winner's Curse as a hero tries to push into a tower. You've got this roll in into a stun from the Earth Spirit as well. These sort of setups allow you to rotate in with your cores if necessary. Here in this situation, they're far enough ahead that they literally can just kill cores with supports right now. But even if it wasn't the case and the game was more even, they would be able to still play this exact same way because of the just massive long-range catch that they have between these 2 supports.
And right as you say it, the long-range catch there by DJ and Abed. You got tornadoes, you got rolling boulders, and you have a lot of spiders going into this base, as well as an Alacrity Brood. They want to get this tier 3. They do bring it down, and look at that. Oh, the Broodlings versus the Pugna Ward does not feel very good at all. They are going to try to, ooh, Rupture will fly out on Pugna, so they know he can't really get in range to do anything right now. They want to take this melee, but they won't get it. Undying will pop ulti, scare them all away. Pretty nice 4v5 defense there, honestly, from Admiral, though, not letting him take the racks.
Fnatic, there is no need for them to get greedy at this point. They can just take the Shrines. Nothing says that you need to use this Aegis to go for Raxes. You're already kind of ahead of schedule in that regard. First Aegis is usually for tier 3, second Aegis, and Cheese.
For game. If you're at this
for a lane of
Rax,
Rax,
yeah.
you know, probably the game. If the enemy team's still holding on, then maybe you need that third, get the refresher shard, but...
Oh, so Weaver going BKB next. So BKB Manta, that's from, he was doing a ton of damage. He got that Maelstrom super early, but now he has to go this Manta BKB, and he just loses a ton of damage.
It just sucks that he needs all the defensive items, right? He needs BKB against all these silences, and he needs Lincolns against the Rupture.
There goes the top shrine, so if they do want to wait for that next Roshan, it'll be a lot easier for the Radiant to take. Looks like Radiant rolled on over, smoked up. Will they find anyone? Glimmer will go up on the hill. Oh, they get the silence up on the Morphling. He is not morphing strength yet. The stun strike will actually end up missing. The Pugna help saves him. The boat will just come down, doesn't do anything, and well, hey, you got a BKB charge from Ice Ice Ice. Honestly, those are getting low on Brood as well, because they got him so early. They are getting lower, and this Morphling, just buy time for him. They're trying.
high ground fights are pretty advantageous for Admiral just because they've got certain things like the Netherward and Tombstone that they can place kind of behind their tier 3 and Rax's area that are going to be very effective, but also having a frontline hero like this Morphling who's kind of tanky, you've got both Life Drain as well as the Rum that's going to be just massively increase his survivability. So
Soul Rip as well.
Yeah, so it's actually really nice to be able to have just these very straightforward, we're on this side, and we've got this one hero that's in front of you that you kind of have to go on.
Ooh, jabs. Ooh, Sentry Ward goes down. They find one, and they're even going to make him attack. This is going to be 2 going down. They both get silenced up. The double boulder comes in, double Suns. Sunstrike's going to completely whiff. They bring down the Pugna, though. Ice, he's ready to come in from the backside. MP has popped his BKB. Tombstone is down. Taking a little bit to kill there, heals it up. Just being a little hindrance. Now it is a 45. Do you push uphill here? Or do you just farm it, pressure, and get out maybe? Oh, they're going bounty runes.
Yeah, they got
even better.
30-minute bounty runes. Pick those up. They still have plenty of opportunity to go high ground again, even as the Pugna revives.
As we see, we have the Glimmer Cape already up on the Winter Wyvern. He's had it for a while. He picks up a Blink Dagger as well, flying out on a chicken. That's almost a guaranteed kill at this point. Oh, there we go. Gets brought down, will just Manton out of it and try to run away. Boat will end up flying, but the Tornado is going to catch one. Boat hits on Abed. Meteor is going to go down. MP right-clicks Boomy. And that's a pretty easy pick-off, even right outside the base. They're not phased at all. Fnatic is just staying outside the base. They might not be pushing the base, but they're just getting these free kills.
Yeah, they know eventually they're going to get either one or two pickoffs or just one of the core kills that's necessary for them to go high ground, which is why Admiral needs to put more pressure on this bottom lane. They need to force Fnatic to basically either go for the high ground push or back off and defend their bottom tier 2. You need to force them to do one or the other. You just can't get shut inside your base by this team.
By the way, the Blood Rage plus Alacrity Catapult. That guy is probably doing more damage than most of them. Oh no, this Morphling. Is he get a solo kill? No, does get Soul Rip. Help save him, but now they're all in a bad position. Easy double kill on 2 of the cores. Instant buyback. And this is feeling pretty much like you just said, right? They got more than one pickoff, and now they can pretty much just take the base, but more buybacks are going to come. Ice takes the top ranged barracks as well during that. Dust gets popped as they run away, and I like this Fnatic. Not getting cocky, they back out, they get multiple barracks and just run away, reset.
Winter's Curse into Nullifier for Ice. That's going to be really tough for Morphling to contend with.
Yeah. Wow, I can't believe he dodged the bugs right there. Could have easily been a kill out. If he get the bugs on him, that's going to be an easy X.
Is he actually getting out here?
Oh my goodness, it sure feels like he's not even trying to get out. He's just toying with them right now.
I mean, the rest of his team is coming in from the south right now, so
no, they are.
They wisely, Admiral begin backing up some of their cores.
Ooh, if they have vision of this Kunkka, though, could be a pickup, and we'll get out of there. Ice tries to bait him in there. Uh-oh, and here we go. Yep, there's the Nullifier. But won't be enough, and a nice dodge there of the stun, actually. Pugna moving, forward, gets out of there. But that is a double buyback, as we saw Morphling as well as Pugna. You see the 20k lead, and I'm not sure they're going to make it to the ultra late game for this Morphling.
Yeah, you see the drawing on the map. Fnatic want to alleviate some of this pressure in the bottom lane. It's pretty much the only way that Admiral can keep this game going, is by split pushing.
Radiant are scanning.
So conversely, just like Admiral should be trying to shove these lanes out, Fnatic just need to be able to keep all 3 lanes in.
Oh, that's the worst guy they could find unless they can bring him down, but Jabs gets the Glimmer Cape pop. MP is going to pop the BKB. We're going to see Tombstone go down. No Winter's Curse yet, and it's just chaos right now in the middle. Is going to be nullified in the middle as the Kunkka does get the ulti. Double Tornado. What's he going to do? Here comes the Cataclysm. MP actually dies. Godlike streak done. Weaver's still alive, trying to run away, and right now Fnatic's only going to find the Undying, it seems like. Weaver moving forward, wants to get more, but Abed, he's dancing on him in the back lines, misses the dust on him, and Abed gets the double. Allison as well, though. DJ gets the kick, it actually misses, but here comes Ice, and oh no, the silence is up. Alacrity Brood, and see you later. That is a no buyback Morphling. Abed is taking a ton of damage going out from this Weaver, but it's not enough. He doesn't have buyback as well, and I have a feeling if this guy goes down right here, our boy Kunkka, it might just be game. We might see the G's drop. And just going to kick him back into his team. Abed getting healed. They're toying with him right now. And the triple kill comes out. Only the Undying alive. And, well, Fnatic can just wander on through the base. They They can hit the racks, they can hit the throne, they can pretty much do whatever they want against this Undying.
Yeah, I don't really see a way that Admiral are going to be able to keep this game going on any longer, so they're going to call it. You know, that fight was actually a decent showing from them, but part of the problem is that Abed very smartly, like when he pushed out that bottom lane, he just taps it a little bit, enough for the lane to push forward, and then he immediately starts running back to the rest of his team, because that's at the point that a smart team like Admiral was doing, see a hero at the bottom lane far away, they're going to smoke up and try and take a team fight 4 versus 5. Once Abed got there though, and he's such a fast hero, once he gets there, the team fight changes immediately. It looks kind of good with MP dying, but then Abed, such a massive invoker, such a large impact in the first 20 minutes of the game, is also the one to close it out for Fnatic.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing you said is the long range abilities, right? You have the Winter Wyvern, you have the Invoker with the Tornado, you have the Earth Spirit. They could catch you. You wouldn't even see him, and just 3 of them are on top of you all of a sudden, and made fights so easy. And it just feels, you can see why Fnatic is considered probably a tier above Admiral right there. They played well. The Weaver did a great job of just staying in the game for like 20-30 minutes, but then he got like picked off twice, had to get a Manta, and getting a Manta on Weaver, I think we learned, probably still isn't that good. Any last thoughts on this game?
I do think that Fnatic showed a really good way. The team fight that they set up in the draft from Admiral is kind of dangerous with the Undying and the Pugna. You don't want to take headlong fights, so they showed exactly the way you want to be able to deal this. As a tier 1 team, you have these really long range, kind of like poke sort of initiations that basically just kind of like tag at them, and if they see the opportunity, then they can follow that up. But it just kind of like is this annoyance that is pretty much a threat all around the map. I think that Fnatic really showed a tier 1 display of how to be able to execute that kind of strategy.
Do you see, I mean, I guess the biggest thing is, what's the draft change, do you think, from Admiral? Is it the first pick they did, Undying Weaver? I mean, Weaver's always good, but I mean, how do you switch it up? You just ban Brood?
I do think that you need to ban the Broodmother away from Fnatic. It just causes too many issues for you. I think you have to basically draft like 2 heroes to be able to deal with this one core, and I think that's a problem for you. It puts you in an awkward position.
Yep. Well, that about sums it up. I guess we can go hear other people's opinions. We probably don't need to, but Shiver, let's hear what you guys have to say.
They're very valuable. That's why we're here. That's why we are talking about this match. Fnatic able to take the first game off of Admiral, and it made it look very easy. When the draft was finished, we already kind of saw that they kind of drafted themselves into a corner, Kyle. It kind of played out the way we were expecting it to.
Yep. It was what I would call like a script win, where you look at the draft, you see the path to victory, and it's like going on a well-lit path, like through the woods with your boo. You know, you just have a good time.
Play some Dota.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like they were saying back there, the Weaver had a good game. I think that's kind of it for Admiral. Like that, but the bottom lane for me was the biggest disaster. Like they have this Pugna Undying that they want to be able to try to pressure versus the Bloodseeker, and it was like the direct opposite of that. The Pugna ended with 11 deaths in this game. If you're dying that much, you're not even able to put the pressure that you want to be able to do. And then they have this Broodmother that they constantly have to be dealing with, and then like the rotations from DJ in this early game pretty much secured all 3 lanes. Yep. Makes it really, really hard for Admiral to play the game.
And they have BKBs on the Brood and the Bloodseeker. Abed just casting spells from afar. I mean, it just felt like everyone in Fnatic was playing in their comfort zone. Owen made the point. 3 platinum heroes on Fnatic.
Yeah, pretty much Dota Plus's way of telling you, you know, you kind of screwed up if it gets to that, you know, boom, 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 screen where you see the heroes come up, and you're like, oh, that guy's platinum. Oh, so's that guy. Oh, they've got 3 people on their platinum heroes. You got to play a lot of games to get that platinum tier. So if that's not a big sort of sign that you're going to have a hard game ahead of you, I don't know what is. But I think one of the things why at the start I said the Brood would be the problem. He didn't really have to get involved that much. I think there's a part of the game he was like 4-3-3 on the Brood. I mean, he was doing his job, of course, keeping just the whole map sort of farmed up by himself, with that constant sort of pressure and nuisance on the lanes. But it was definitely, you know, as you said, not only DJ, but also the combination of him and Abed. These 2, their sort of amount of kill involvement and the pressure they were applying across the map. It's a hard team to draft against. I think you have to take away the Brood, and I think in the next game, you know, when you look at DJ, it's his Shaker, it's his Spirit, and his IO. I really think you may even have to ban the Spirit if you don't play it yourself. You have to take either the Shaker or the Io, ban the other, and just make sure he doesn't get his hands on one of those 3 heroes, then maybe he'll have a chance.
We do get back to this a lot when we're talking about like when there is that just a team that has that advantage, right? Just based off their players, based off their experience and everything, and you want to go back to something that is like ease of execution.
Yep.
I look at these drafts too, and I look at Fnatic's, and theirs is just way easier to play. I look at Admirals, and it's like everything needs to align perfectly. Like Kunkka is everything for them, for all their catch. He needs to be there for all their playmaking. It makes the game really difficult.
Yep. And I love to see, you know, this is a new team, Fnatic's roster, you know, just a few weeks old, but it already feels like they're more, not disciplined necessarily, but like the way they draft is more streamlined. Like it really feels like they go into these games with a plan, they get what they're looking for, their openers make a lot of sense, the draft itself meshes together quite well, their win conditions are easy. So credit to Dubu, the new coach, of course, for I'm sure helping them develop strategy, because remember, this team has no natural captain. They don't have any captains. They just said, hey, we're going to get these 5 players that are all really good. I'd say pretty much everyone but Ice is arguably one of the best at their positions. I say that only because I know you can hear me right now.
And you try to not upset the fans, because we are in Singapore, and there's a lot of Singaporean fans, and he is the only Singaporean player here. You might want to be a little nice if you want to be able to walk outside of the venue later on tonight. We, of course, are in the middle of a semi-final. This is a best of 3. We're